everyone, and welcome to the community of interest. Let me say hello to the most innovative companies in healthcare. A bunch of professionals with different backgrounds, willing to leave the comfort zone and to make digital health transformation happen. So really happy to have all of you on board. The community of interest was initiated among all the Gatekeeper partners networks last September, and it keeps growing as more and more stakeholders hear about the project. Up to now, we are more than 100 people. So we are really creating an amazing network. And what is the purpose of the community of interest? What is our mission? The Gatekeeper community of interest aims to connect the large network of stakeholders to foster learning, encourage collaboration, and offer an opportunity for creative problem solving and innovation. The Gatekeeper community of interest brings together and structures a network of stakeholders across Europe that work or are interested in healthcare and technology offering portfolio. It is a network of key stakeholders interested in following the developments of our project, our Gatekeeper project, attracted by topics as healthcare, artificial intelligence, and big data. And who we are. We are a group of people who share a specific topic and who deepen their knowledge and expertise in the topic by interacting on an ongoing basis for information exchange and to develop relationships with peers and stakeholders. Next, please. This is our strategy. We have defined the mission and vision. We have built a core team and we are creating a shared space to establish a dialogue and have a specific place to collaborate. We are promoting knowledge management through the establishment of different webinars as today and workshops with all of you in order to know and understand your needs and define with all of you specific work streamlines to work in the future, to work with during this year and also for next years. And last but not least, we are engaging all of you, at least trying to engage all of you in a regular communication through social media channels, networks, pilots, etc. Next, please, Carolina. And for whom we are creating our community of interest. What is our target audience? We have grouped the main target audience in three main groups, as you can see. We have the digital health companies, healthcare providers and individuals, and also regulatory entities and policymakers. Digital health companies. If you are an entity providing digital health innovative products, services, or solutions, interested in extending your footprint, finding new customers and partners to improve quality of life and healthcare, Gatekeeper community of interest is for you. We connect you with opportunities in the sector of digital health technologies. The group of healthcare providers and individuals. If you are an entity providing healthcare services or a person interested in consuming and accessing the most innovative healthcare products, services, and solutions available in the Gatekeeper ecosystem, the community of interest is for you. We are the bridge between you and the digital health companies. Regulatory entities and policymakers. There are many other types of entities providing value to the healthcare ecosystem in Europe from different perspectives, from different technological companies or healthcare providers such user associations, regulatory entities, standardization organizations, or policymakers. If you are an entity that has a specific interest in Gatekeeper, in the Gatekeeper platform and the mission success, participate also in the design of the strategy and help us to grow, the community of interest is also for you. We guide you for innovating in the area of digital health. Next, please. And what the offer is, why should you participate and being part of our community of interest? First, we have an online catalog. This is a place to showcase and get to know firsthand different experience, product solutions, and innovative services of digital health for daily problems in healthcare in a simple and user-friendly way. You should be able to publicize your solutions as well as contact other companies that have complementary solutions or find the right product or services for your challenge. Setting needs. This is the best place to know all these solutions and companies in a structured way, as well as share your needs or interest. Community that adds value to your interest. Whether you are large business, a health and care provider, a policymaker, this community can act as a valuable resources. It's a place where you can easily find information and answers to your most pressing questions. A focus group for innovation, multiple stakeholders coming together will allow you as participants to see the needs and interest in other organizations in value chains. And find the competitive edge, the inputs from others and the connections established with the community of interest will favor discussions around unique experience. Maybe there is something different about your organizations that you can use to influence policymaking and innovation. Next, please. And the Gatekeeper Hub, you know that we are going to launch, it's expected to be launched this month in June, our Gatekeeper Hub. It will be a place for organizations already engaged in the community of interest that wants to offer or publish or communicate their solutions, products, or services in the case of the digital health companies, or maybe share their interest and needs in case of health organizations or regulatory entities. The Gatekeeper Hub will be an online catalog with different types of actors. We would like to have SMEs, investors, healthcare organizations, legal and regulatory services providers, healthcare companies, etc. This will be a place to, of course, to be discovered, a way to increase your company visibility, and well, hopefully we can launch this maybe next week. So this is the idea. So from here, I would like to encourage all of you to provide your needs, your interests, your solutions to be able to launch very soon this hub that I think is going to be really useful for all of you. Thank you, Carolina.
Thank you very much, Marta, for the introduction to the community of interest, and at the same time, welcome all of you who have joined us when Marta was speaking, and again, apologize you for the inconvenience. I'm very happy that you find yourself to this virtual room, and I hope that when I see that more and more people are joining, I think still Marta was getting some messages on her WhatsApp, people asking her how to join. So let's not stress. This is a formal, informal meeting of this community. We are here to talk, to meet, not to only perform, exchange, network, and well, those kind of also experiences bring us all together. And with this, maybe I would like to then, after the introduction, what the community of interest is, invite Karina, who is the International Project Manager at the European Connected Health Alliance, to introduce us. What are we doing here? What are the objectives of this workshop, and what we should get out from this? Karina?
Thank you, Carolina. Thank you also, Marta, for introducing the community of interest so well. So it will be easy to do this now. Well, the main issue and the main approach that we want to take with you today was, of course, to make the introduction and explain a little bit of what is the community of interest. But now, from now on, what we really want is to try to understand how we can collaborate with each other. And this will be, let's say, co-created by us in different ways. So as you have may seen already from the agenda of the event, we will have different groups, 4 groups that will be in different rooms. And the main idea first is to put us all into communication. So we informed you about what is the community of interest, also about the project. We intend to put you all together to meet. Each of these areas of these territories will have a different focus. Of course, things are multidisciplinary, and we know that probably when you saw this, you thought, okay, maybe I could be in more than one. But now the idea is just to choose one, see where it gets you, meet the people that are there, and then together with our 4 territory leaders, trying to understand what is our main interest of working together. The community of interest will last until the end of the project, so we will have other meetings, other workshops, and other topics to discuss. Today, what we need is to try to find the first one and see where it gets us. Can you move, Carolina, to the next slide? So, our main results we hope to get out of today is that for each of these territories, solutions, people, data, and regulations, we will find one steady group, that is a group of people that will have time in these breakouts to discuss a little bit, to meet, to understand their main areas of work, and then to try to find 1 or more topics that are of common interest, either for us at the project, as also for you in every different aspect of your work. And then trying to decide 1 tangible result that we will want to take from here. It may be a scientific collaboration, it may be just an exchange of opinions, it may be networking, it may be the production of a document. This is up to each of the groups to discuss. But it would be good at a certain point if the group also has a purpose to meet and to discuss again, because this is our main purpose today, is to put different stakeholders from different regions, different areas to talk together and discuss. And then let's also try to establish inside each territory a specific period to discuss this topic or some kind of deadline, so that we also know that we will now have something interesting to discuss, to work on, to collaborate, but then that we can close it. And maybe in the next workshop, you can decide to go for a different area and meet different people and discuss on different results. So this is the overall idea. And as you can see, we don't have, well, we want to leave some room also for the different groups to organize each other, to collaborate, and to participate and co-create with us. So with this, maybe I can close this part unless anyone has any questions, and we can proceed and catch up with the next steps.
Thank you very much, Karina, for this introduction, and just a short comment still to all of you. Please remember to mute yourself when you're not speaking, that we don't hear your the information from your office or your phone calls. So with this, I would like to then well, I'm just a bit too far, but let me stay here then. So with this, let me now introduce our first speaker, who will introduce those territories that already Marta and Karina were mentioning. We have in the community of interest, we identified four territories, which is people, solutions, business, data, and regulations. And you see that, well, we will have in 20 minutes, we should start the group discussions in those in those groups, in those four groups. But before you decide which group to join, which group to you would like to contribute to, I would like to actually invite those four leaders of those territories to present what are those about, what are the topics they will be dealing with. And we will start with people. So I would like to invite Jordi Debatel to share those thoughts on the community of interest with us. And Jordi, I see that you took over the screen very well, very smooth. So please, the floor is yours. And please be mindful about the time. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, thank you. I am Jordi de Batlle. I work in CIBER in Spain, and together with my colleagues Silvio Pallara and Leandro Pecchia from the University of Warwick, we are going to present a little bit the people territory. Basically, the people territory is a space of discussion and experience exchange focused on the citizens, so on the people, and specifically in its needs for healthy living and aging, and the challenges faced by the health and care providers, so the related stakeholders, in order to cover these needs. All right. So this is, let's say, the human side of this story. Let me see. Okay. So we have identified 3 topics for this year. The first one is how to engage with the local actors and stakeholders. So what we want to see here is how to involve everybody who needs to be involved in order to have this kind of e-health projects moving on. The second one is how to capture the citizen requirements for healthy living and aging, because sometimes, especially the companies or the stakeholders, the health providers, are not in direct communication with the citizens. So there's this need of establishing ways of communication and capturing then the requirements, the needs of this population. And finally, going one step further, we have identified a topic that it's how to translate these needs and requirements into artificial intelligence and machine learning models that are going to power healthy aging tools, or tools to enable these people to have a better life and healthy aging at the end of the day. So what is expected from the community of interest? We have four things here. The first one is to identify the needs and the challenges that we are facing. And this links to the second one, that is to share the experiences that we all are having inside Gatekeeper and of course outside Gatekeeper. The idea is to enrich and cross-fertilize with our experiences. And what's more important here is that we also want the engagement and to explore the potential for collaboration between us, because you can participate in Gatekeeper, we can participate in other projects or enterprises or businesses. So the idea is to push for this collaboration and try to see how this can be done. And then finally, of course, discovery of new topics, because we identified 3 so far, but maybe you have other things in mind, and we can, of course, rescope our view when it's needed. So the idea is to keep this useful for you and also for us. And that's all from my side. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Jordi, for the presentation of this territory. And with this, I would like to invite Eugenio Gaeta for the presentation of the solutions territory.
Hello, good morning. Just a second that I share my screen. Okay. Can you see my screen?
Yes, perfect.
Okay, so this brief presentation is about the solution that we are expecting for this year. Okay, So the first one is a component that is a reusable component designed to build our data space within the project. Okay. The general overview of the data federation is this one. We have selected data from every pilot of the project. Based on this data, we have created a Gatekeeper Fire implementation guide, where we have created a logical data model, some specific profile, and we have defined the common terminology. And based on this information, we have created a federated data space that we have called it the Data Federation Think, that basically is defining a interoperable and scalable data model for the whole Gatekeeper project. Within this data model, we have created two kinds of API. One is based on the FHIR standard, and another one is based on semantic, and it is based on RDF standard. Basically, this is the architecture of the federation. So you can imagine every pilot data space as a data mart that is following the same schema, and on top of it we can create reusable services, basically. Okay, so this is a bit the concept of the data federation. So based on data federation, we have another important product that are the AI services. Okay, so the AI services are following a containerized multi-tenant platform architecture. Basically, the idea of our AI infrastructure was to provide to every pilot, or in general to every actor that want to join the Gatekeeper platform, a private tenant space with all artificial intelligence service that they may need in order to create their model. And this concept is also following deployment scalability, because basically we are relying on open source services that can be installed on premises, on public cloud, or even in hybrid infrastructure. These multi-tenant AI services are granting fault tolerance and high scalability, and they are built on top. They are built with the container. This is one of the first AI containerized platform. They are based on technology for high performance and high scalability. We have Kubernetes that orchestrate the container and provide at high level all the services. Basically, these are services that are oriented more to data engineering, data scientists, and the DevOps team. They include a lot of utility and open source solution. We have database, relational databases like MySQL, Postgres, SQL, Then we have NoSQL database like Neo4j, MongoDB, and others. We have also specific big data infrastructure that includes Spark, Cloudera, Kafka, Hadoop, and others. And then we have connected AI libraries like Jupyter, TensorFlow, H2O, that basically are able to use the bottom infrastructure. More in detail with this container platform, for AI, we have a unified, secure, scalable, multi-cluster control plane. We can accelerate modernization of monolithic stateful workload, and we can create a specific solution for machine learning and data analysis, and we are also able to provide the solution for enabling edge and IoT application. Okay, so this is the main value pillar of our AI infrastructure.
Eugenio, okay. Just about the time, you have 1 minute left only.
Okay, so now on the top of this infrastructure, we are building during this year the AI models. We have AI models that, as Jordi mentioned before, are related to different use cases and different kind of risky population. We have AI model for low, moderate, and high risk population. So you can see that we have basically all the pipeline of AI covered with our infrastructure, because we have the data, we have a common data model for data, we have a private AI infrastructure for training and analyze data, and then we are building a specific model and algorithm that will be at the end of the project reusable AI services that will be shared among all the Gatekeeper community. Okay, so this is these are basically our solution that we are working on this year, and that's all.
Thank you so much, Eugenio, for this presentation. And so we heard about what is the people territory about, what about the solutions, and then what about the business? So here I would like to invite Sergio Julian to tell us what is being done in the business territory of Gatekeeper, and where would you like the contribution from? Where would you see the contribution from the community of interest? And we see your screen, but we don't hear you, Sergio. So maybe you're muted.
Thank you very much. Again, start again, Carolina, for the introduction. My question is if you are looking at the presentation in your screen.
Yes.
Okay. So this is the third territory that is connected to the business of Gatekeeper. Gatekeeper pretend to be a business-oriented innovation action project, and then we really want to discuss with you in this territory an approach to a sustainable business beyond the limits of the project. You know, so. I will try to go through this presentation if you want to. Okay, so yeah, in Gatekeeper we have built what we call the business cluster that embrace all activities that are related to the creation of a sustainable business in the future. That includes our plan of exploitation, ecosystem management, impact activities, and many more, certifications, governments, procurement models, etc., etc. All of them are being analyzed within a Gatekeeper. And then the creation of the community of interest indeed is part of this business cluster, obviously in connection with the other territories that we are presenting to you. So basically, I want to tell you about the business model concept in Gatekeeper. Originally, Gatekeeper was thought as a kind of space, a virtual space that connect different type of stakeholders, from citizens, patients, caregivers, consumer technology companies, SMEs, medical technology companies, healthcare operators, hospital service providers, healthcare national, regional, local agencies. All then are represented within Gatekeeper. However, our ambition is that the rest of the world that are identified through this deep category of organizations and people are able to join this Gatekeeper. And what they want to show. Our initial idea was that Gatekeeper is a business environment where healthcare domain stakeholders, the ones that are shown here, an individual with exchange ideas and needs. It's open for that exchange. We'll create technologies, we'll create products and services, and we share data that procure solution and know-how. So we have been hearing about how we are making our own skill, experience, and best practice through the pilots, how we have building our technological infrastructures and capacities, and this is part of the business of Gatekeeper. So at the end, Gatekeeper is thought as a marketplace, as a complex marketplace that we have identified the 4 operating spaces. One operating space, which is dedicated to what we call the third healthcare space. The second is the consumer space. The third is the business or creation space. So this is following the model of the multi-site platform and marketplace paradigm, and we are really working on building this model. And what is important for us, as it was indicated by Marta today, through the community of interest and through the hub, what are the first attractive poles that we are building in fact to incorporate in the future design of our marketplace. So you are going to be the first players, the first actors that are open to participate in this new way of doing. So for doing this, we have 5 topics that are in this moment the core activity that we are going, and these are the topics that I will suggest that are open for open discussion with the community of interest. The customer journey, the data federation model was mentioned before by Eugenio. Ecosystem, market forces and practices is part of our community of interest, the building of that ecosystem. The multi-site platform model I mentioned before, we are working on the design of this multi-site platform model, and the product and services. So all these topics are really addressed by different groups within our project, and we want to open the discussion within the community of interest for those people that can be interested in the Gatekeeper model for doing a sustainable healthcare business in the future. So thank you very much, and then for sure that we will have an opportunity to discuss in the breakout groups. Thank you, Carolina. That's all.
Super. Thank you so much, Sergio, for this introduction. So now, after people solutions and considering also business aspect of all this, what about data and regulations? And for that, I would like to invite Pasquale Nocino to tell us what issues you are dealing with in that territory and where do you see the contribution of the community of interest.
Many thanks, Caterina. Many thanks all. I hope you can see my slides.
Yes, if you can just make them in the presentation mode. Perfect. Maybe on the bottom.
Yeah.
Okay.
There we go.
Yeah,
okay,
perfect.
So I'm very happy to be here with all of you. I mean, we were discussing this event because it's also a matter of internal coordination for us between the work that Sergio shared with us before in the context of the business cluster, but then VP2, in my case, VP1 and VP6 of Gatekeeper and so on. And I will mention with you, in fact, the work that we are doing in VP1, VP8, which is the work package 8 in the context of Gatekeeper, deals with the certification of data processing activities, which is, as I will highlight, are irrelevant to us. And then the work that we do with the different parts in what we internally call the PLGB, which is the Policy, Legal and Gender Board of the Gatekeeper project, which I chair, where the different internal stakeholders and partners of the project contribute, and where we analyze data and ethical issues which are relevant for the project and policy initiatives. As you can imagine, it's a quite busy time of the year for us because, I mean, the past few months there have been several proposals coming from the Commission. Last discussions that we had are, of course, two of them I want to mention here, the AI proposal and the European Health Data Space. So we are trying to synchronize to the best of our knowledge and to the best as we can the activities of Gatekeeper to what is in tune at the European level, the supranational level, and so on. Now, one main distinction which I always make is, of course, the distinction between laws and norms. We, in the development of the health project, have to take into account both laws and norms. And we know that laws are quite complex because they are also very diversified, because we need to take into account European, international and European norms. Just one example that you find here, the GDPR. We know that for the European Health Data Space, a study was recently published which analyze also all the different national provisions which are relevant for the European Health Data Space. The study was published by the Commission and is highly relevant for all of us, I understand. Many of you might have seen it, and there you understand the complexities at stake in legal processing. Now we know that many of us are also involved in the discussions around the MDR, the Data Governance Act, the EII regulation, the cybersecurity of critical infrastructure, and so on. These are all important pieces that we all consider in our daily work, and we, of course, in Gatekeeper, consider in the context of what we call our legal and policy framework. Now, besides law, we also consider norms, and in this context, we have ethics and social norms. It's a very challenging part of this for us because we are a project that started with European pilots. Now we also added Asian pilots. And you know that when we discuss ethics and values of European or Western countries might differ from the values of Asian countries. Our values, our ethos, our ethics is a lot, very much based on individualism, also in the context of individual choice. Here we know the stress that we put, for instance, on consent and individual choice in all the matter concerning data and healthcare, while Asian societies are more based on collective values. So let's imagine if we want to deploy technical solutions which try to fit global markets. So they have to take into account different kind of values and how the tool we propose interact also with that values, because those values can also be market barriers or can enhance the deployment of our solution, but we have to know that. So we are inquiring also that. And then, of course, the standards and the role of SDOs is highly relevant for what we do. So this is the complex matrix we deal with. And we want to tackle with you and try to understand the specific issue of the certification of data processing activities, which is highly relevant for us in the context of the Work Package 8 activities. So we build on previous experience of certification schemes, which are going to be approved quite soon by the European Data Protection Board. And we try to implement vertical solution for vertical models for e-health tools to certify these products and processes. Now, what are the possible topics we identify for this year? So the role of data protection of e-health deployment, for sure, certification, e-health data space, and AI regulation proposal. These are all highly relevant, probably the four most relevant issue that we want to bring for the discussion to our community of interest. And then when we will go into the breakout rooms, I will invite and share with you, I will invite you to fill in a short survey that we have created to gather information on certification, why certification, if it's relevant certification for your companies or organization, because we try to map the needs and adjust the work that we are doing and we will be doing according to the feedback that we will receive. And we will also use that information to plan bilateral telcos and follow-up in order to build with all of you a relevant solution in that field. So thank you very much. I hope I stayed in my time, and the floor is back to you, Caterina.
Thank you so much, Pasquale, for this introduction, and thank you all for keeping the time. We started late, but we are pretty good. We're doing pretty well. So what will happen now? As already announced, we will break into breakout rooms to discuss those four territories. So the host will be the presenters that have just given the overview of the work and their interest, and also the Gatekeeper team will join the discussion. You will now, I will open the breakout rooms. You will see on your screen the breakout rooms that you can choose from. So just please give me 1 second that I create and name them. So they will be exactly named the same as our territories, people, solutions, business, and data. Let me just shorten the third territory. So when I open those four rooms, you all should see on your screen those rooms and be able to join. So you please mute yourself, whoever is okay. Thank you. So you will be able then to join. I know that some people, especially those joining on the phone, might not be able to see this message. So I will, for those who will stay and will not see this message, please either put your mic on and tell me which group would you like to join, or I will read from the list of the remaining participants in the plenary. And I will also bring you back at 12:30 Central European time. So for the host and co-host, please remember to make sure that the session is recorded. You should be able to click the record button, and I will also share with all of you the Google document for taking the notes. But for now, please enjoy the virtual travel to one of those four breakout rooms. So please make your choice. I see some people who stayed here. Maybe I can help you to find your place to the breakout room. Just please, Oscar, Laura, George, Angel, please tell me where would you like to go, and then I'm able to send you to this room.
Carolina, may I ask you to, because I cannot.
Sergio, yes, business.
Here?
Yes, I'm sending you now, Sergio. Thank you.
Hi, hey Carlos. I like to go to. Can you hear me?
Yes, Carlos. Carlos Ruiz Para Calderon.
Yes, yes. I like to go to solution room.
I'm
possible,
sending
please.
you there, please.
Hello, this is Rahel.
Rahel?
I want to go to business room.
Is it Angel?
Yes.
Yes, perfect. Thank you. I'm sending you there. Just a second. I'm having here. Okay, business room. Yes, someone else?
This is Laura speaking. I'm sorry, but I can see the selection of the rooms in the my screen. Can you redirect to people, please?
People. You
yes,
go
please.
to people. Yes, please. There is someone still. I have 8 people here. Alexander, Alicia, Sergey, Ksenia, Carlo, Libero.
Yes, Alexander speaking. Can you please?
Okay, one person at a time. Who is speaking?
It's in the chat, Carolina. We have stated our preferences in the chat.
Oh yeah, Ksenia would like to go to business part. Georgia, okay, I'm sending you. And there is still Alexei, business, and Sergey, people. I'm sending you there. Alexei, was it business?
Alexander.
Alexander, apologies. Business, yes, at least I got that right. So I still have 5 people here. Libero, Carlo, Alicia, did you make your choice?
Yes, I would like to go to solutions.
You would like to go to solutions.
Alicia Martinez.
Alicia Martinez, solutions, please go. Okay, Celia? Celia Alvarez?
Yes, hi, here Celia.
Would you like to go to people, solutions, business, or data? Okay, while you are still thinking, maybe I will ask Libero and Carlo. Did you make your solutions? Celia, do you know which group you would?
Yes, solutions, please.
Solutions, okay. I don't know if I read names correctly, so please forgive me. Jamie, Kyriakos, Libero, and Carlo. Did you make your choice?
Yeah, for me, I want to enter in business.
And who is speaking?
Jamie.
Jimmy, business. Please go.
Kyriakos
Yes?
for business, please.
Okay.
Thank
Libero?
you.
Libero, are you with us? And Carlo, are you with us? Okay. No, not everyone has to go.
people who developed some kind of technologies to be used with the patients and the citizens. This means that it's a rich group, and the idea is that we want to collaborate somehow. We presented several questions to them. Let's see.
Yeah, here I don't know why it's not showing.
Everything is white. Well, anyway.
Yeah, here
it's fine. So what are the topics that they think that we can focus on? No, move to the other one. Okay. That's fine. If there's nothing to see there, is fine. So we identified that the key point is collaborating, but of course, collaboration on what? So on life, on people, on prevention, and also on the requirements of these citizens that are getting older and they want to have a healthy life. What can make the difference? Here we have three things: the day-to-day thing, no, the concept of being close to them, to the people, and that was nice, Silvio. Great. Then we have the implementation. We want this to be user-friendly. We need technology, of course, and that's more or less the ideas that were presented and shared between us. Can you move to the next one? Yeah, how can we contribute to this process? Well, we can provide technology, we can provide evidence, and we are offering clinical expertise and communities to participate. So I think that that's quite nice, that even if we were few, we could try to provide this kind of complete view, which is very nice. Can you move to the next one, Silvio?
Yeah, there was this one.
Yeah, these ones were more complex, and we didn't have really the time to discuss on this. So probably we will leave them for the next one because the time was short. But of course, we want also to tackle this third topic that we identified, that was the machine learning requirements and how we can identify them. So basically, I think that's more or less all that we talked. But what's more important is that we presented a little bit the second open call, and maybe some of the participants can try to apply. And this would be a very first opportunity to collaborate, basically. If the second open call is not fit to everyone, we will of course keep exploring formulas to collaborate and to share our expertise and face the challenges together in this voyage. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Can you remind us all if the second call is already open or it will open?
It will be open very soon. Silvia, yes. Do you know the date?
Yeah, Marta can say something, but yeah, from July the 1st, I think.
Yes, it's 1st of July.
All right.
And it will be open during 3 months. And thank you so much, Jordi, to summarize your meeting. And yes, of course, this is the idea. I mean, to try to find ways of collaboration. Of course, the open calls are the good one because the European Commission is funding these ideas. But I'm pretty sure that we can explore different alternatives, different ways of collaboration, and this is the idea of the community of interest. As I already explained before, we are going to promote the hub. I think it's a good opportunity. It's like as I explained, it's an online catalog to give you the opportunity to be visible. Not only inside of our consortium, so to everyone, but we are a lot of people inside of this consortium. So I guess, and correct me if I'm wrong, more than 40 companies are already engaged. So this is a good opportunity, and we will explore different things as well. So keep an eye on our community of interest, and of course discuss the different ways of collaboration.
Mm-hmm. And perhaps we can also send a link to the second call, even when it will not be yet published, but just to follow in the follow-up email. But with this, also passing smoothly to the solutions and Eugenio's team. Is Eugenio still with us? Okay. Yes. We don't hear you. Maybe you were still unmuted.
Sorry, I'm in mute. I was talking a lot. This is more a summary of our session. Okay, so can you see my screen?
Yes, just
okay.
Yes.
So what we was trying to respond.
One more slide.
Are 4 different questions, but for time being, we have been only focused on a few of them. Okay. So first thing that we have seen that we have a possible collaboration with the Fair for Health project, because as in Gatekeeper, they are using FHIR, and we have a common partner that is related to both project, that is at HL7. So now next step in this sense is to try to consolidate this collaboration through the HL7. Okay. Okay, I will not go in detail, but also partner from Fair for Health project could be possible new open caller participant, because they have some solution that could be bringing the new open call. Then we have also tried to collect some information on what could be the most relevant topic of our discussion, and you can see here some response, and also some important note on how other actor in the community of interest could contribute to the topic. Okay, and basically these are some other collection of information that we have done, and I think that's all for our space. Okay.
Are there any additions from the team, or if not, then I would invite business representatives of the business territory to share the conclusions with us.
Okay. I'm afraid that at least I didn't feel the matrix.
Marta, are you sharing your screen?
You did that work, Marta?
Okay, perfect. Now, okay. Yes, now we see the slide business. Maybe you want to make it bigger. Presentar, click the presentar. Yes. On the right, yes. Perfect. Yes, Sergio. Okay,
yes, basically, thank you, Marta, for taking these notes. In fact, we went through a quick presentation, particularly because we want to know who is not involved in Gatekeeper was present in the meeting, and it was interesting to see people from different category of we say the stakeholders that present that express interest in general of the business models of Gatekeeper. So the topics that most relevant for them as was approaches that was approach for the business model, how we are doing this process of designing that business model, commercialization of platform. This is something that was raised by a project that is dealing with European platforms in healthcare. What about the solutions and that are not in the market, need to be developed and need funding to that? We talk about data spaces, and then what are the business category. Basically, these were the topics that will rise in the discussion. In general, all are related on different aspects that are components of a relative complex business model that was presented by Rohit in order to explain very quick what is what are the issues around the business model of Gatekeeper, in fact. And then what is interesting that at least we intend to really to incorporate all participants of the community of interest that would like to into the discussions that we are already maintaining internally in the project towards the implementation. For instance, it was an issue about the data European of the data spaces, sharing data and etc. That obviously will rise a lot of discussion, and we will like not only the concepts and the idea that we have with our pilots, but also external other organizations that are not are participating in this community of interest can contribute with their own ideas, concept, regulations, limitations, barriers, etc. in the field of data federation. So this is an example of data of future contribution that we foresee from the community with Gatekeeper. So I guess that we have to really to organize now more focused discussions, and a forum for that can be the community of interest activity. Thank you. I don't know if any one of you want to add something else. Please feel free to do it. This is an open space for discussion and exchange of ideas. So we are only facilitating that discussion. I don't know, Rohit or the other participants in the want to add some comments or things.
No, not for me, Sergio. I think you have summarized is good for us. So I don't have anything to add. Thank you.
Thank you. And then we will move to the final group, data and regulation. So here, Karina and Pasquale were working. Would you like to share your screen, or should I share? Okay, Pasquale is.
You can see.
Yes.
I have been particularly efficient, and oh, sorry. There we go. So
you are always efficient. Huh?
I have updated my previous presentation, and this is a screenshot of our ongoing discussion. I mean, we were a small group. I don't know about the other. We were about 6 people. So as Sergio already has mentioned, there are interests and concerns, of course, concerning the EL data space, because this involves many things, especially interoperability, data sharing, legal and technical issues, though it's a little bit of a condensation of all the issues that we face. So, but there was also the fact of raise of the stress on the need to have a meaningful data. So that the issue of, I would call it the issue of data quality. So how we structure for the operators, for the end users, and for machine learning purposes, data that are meaningful, which means from which we can extract value, in a sense. And this was a topic which we very much discussed, and we discussed the possible techniques to enhance that and so on. And then the secondary use of health data was discussed from the point of view of data sharing, but also in the context of data altruism. So from the ethical perspective, because we, as I stressed before in Gatekeeper, we stress a lot on the legal issues, but also the ethical side of it. And then therefore there should be what we should focus on concretely. Now, in the conversation, we have stressed this discussion, which is already ongoing between the Data Governance Act proposal, to which we as Gatekeeper have contributed with OpenDI to the public consultation. This was work done in the context of the Policy Board and the Work Package 1, and the GDPR. The European Data Protection Supervisor has highlighted some concern there, and we have to follow that up, especially in the context also of data altruism. There was a stress done on a comparative matter on how Europe is running the risk to lag behind, especially if compared to the US in the digital transition in terms of data which are available. And there was the stress on need to speed up the transition. And there was also a stress on EP rights in terms of structuring the market. And for Gatekeeper, this is an issue that we deal in the context of the business cluster, how we structure the EP rights, property rights, and so on. So this was heavily stressed in the conversation. So how we will contribute from our specific point of researcher, physicians, lawyers, and so on. Well, specific focus again on the European health data space, role of a clear and transparent regulation enforcement. And here there was the stress of this debate that you might have heard during the worst day of COVID on the fact that we need a competence of the European Union in the field of health, which is still lacking. And this is why we have in many ways a fragmented scenario, because there is a strong role of national and regional governments in health here. So there was this argument made that a more kind of top-down approach would facilitate and ease the transition. But all the things that we discussed, so being them the ethic part, being them the legal compliance part, were really focused on the role of increased trust for end users, because as it was stressed, only if we increase the trust of end users, this will facilitate deployment and use of the solution by the end users. And therefore, this will help us treat the data in a way that keep high quality, also in terms of interoperability and standardization. So this was the first appointment for us, where I asked the participant to fill in a questionnaire on certification. We will follow up on that, arrange also other meetings, because we will continue our conversation. I thank you all very much for your inputs and time. Thank you.
Perfect. Thank you so much for this overview of the discussion and the conclusions. It seems it was fruitful exchange, and a lot of different ideas were shared. But now you probably ask, so what's next? How will we move from here? So with that, I would like to give the microphone back to Marta to let us know what is planned and how people can follow up what's going on with the community of interest.
Thank you, Carolina. And yes, as I said before, we are going to release our Gatekeeper Hub that ending of June is the expected date. Again, this hub will be the online catalog, will be a place for organizations already engaged in the community of interest that wants to offer, publish, communicate their solutions, products, or services, and also a space to share needs from the other side, no? And our events, our community of interest events. So after this meeting, and thank you so much to make this discussion possible. I think we got a good outputs, and we would like to now focus on the topics that you have highlighted as relevant for you. So the idea now is working these work streamlines during this year, and maybe it will be our next session after summertime. We need to schedule this, but it will be for sure in October. And the idea is, again, meet us together, maybe in specific groups, and try to work on the different topics that we already have discussed. We will publish this event or these workshops, the different workshops or webinars in our main website. So please keep an eye and stay tuned of these upcoming events. Well, as next, we have also the open call too. We have also been discussed about that. We are going to launch our second open call next week, 1st of July. The deadline to send your proposals will be 28th of September. It will be open during 3 months. And the main objective of this open call is extend the benefits of our platform, of Gatekeeper platform, beyond the boundaries of the current pilots, and expanding the Gatekeeper ecosystem. No? We would like to attract entities leading the digital data-driven technologies landscape as artificial intelligence, big data, data analytics, but also we would like to have new use cases. We would like to engage new sites, new pilots, patients, different organizations, aiming at providing more robust and personalized and collaborative quality and cost-efficient healthcare. So please check for that. Please check our website. I will send, as always, we will promote this open call through our Gatekeeper database. So you will receive my mailing with all this information, and but everything will be in the website. Our social media. So we have regular activity in our social media channels as Twitter, LinkedIn, and also YouTube. So please check everything that we are promoting there. And I would like to take the opportunity to discuss with you, or to say to all of you, that we have our Gatekeeper blog. So it's a professional forum to discuss around healthcare challenge. So if you are interested to write some words, to write an article here, please feel free to send us the topic, and we will agree your contribution. But this blog is also open for you, open for our community of interest. So to conclude, and before sending the floor back to Carolina, I would like to say once again how happy I am to have all of you on board, and please again stay tuned in our channels for the upcoming events. Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you, Marta, and indeed, thank you all for being with us, for registering, and for being so flexible and also participating actively in the discussion. So Marta presented the next steps, and of course the immediate next step will be to send you all the follow-up email, but give us a couple of days that we collect the recordings. And also then all this information, you saw that there are some deadlines coming for the hub being launched at the end of June, and then the second call, open call, being launched at the beginning of July. So this email will contain the relevant links and the information, but you don't have to wait for our email to stay connected. So please follow, if you haven't, if you don't do it yet, please follow the Gatekeeper on Twitter and on LinkedIn. In LinkedIn, that will be the page where actually the facilitation of the community of interest will be happening. You can also then thanks to what LinkedIn is to get to know each other better and cooperate, hopefully also cooperate without our facilitation. So this is what the big ambition is. But with this, I would like to close. To share with you the round of the virtual applause to all our speakers and our community, and wish you a wonderful wonderful afternoon and peaceful online meetings without too many technical challenges. So thank you so much, and yeah. See you latest after the autumn, but I hope we can connect on social media. So Gatekeeper Project on Twitter and LinkedIn.